Okay, I'm creating a video. The sound system that I got from Hobby King. The first time I had it hooked up, the first one that I ordered, ordered a replacement and received it this morning. But the first one, and I've got the first one hooked up right now. This SMS card, which is not card, but it's a box system module, the sound module system. Anyhow, I didn't have the proper connection with the power to the SC, and when I plugged the battery in, a big puff of smoke came out of this. So, but anyhow, I did later testing. I did find that, and like right now, I can plug it in. I can plug the power to it, and you can actually hear static. Everything syncs up just fine. And now, I don't know, probably can't hear it in the speaker, but I mean, won't be able to pick this up. I'll give it a shot anyhow. But I give it just a little bit of power. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but static coming out of this speaker. And that's because the SMS card is not the box is burned up. But anyhow, I do know it's trying to put out something. The motor not syncs up, but it's a 3-cell, so you get the 3 beeps and then a single beep indicating everything's ready. And of course the power works. All the surfaces, the flaps, elevator, rudder, everything's working. Now, I've actually got it right now. See, this is going to the receiver. They've got the sound system comes with little chinky directions, which I'll bring it over here well, here, what I've got is I've got a large copy of this picture, and I've got a large copy of this picture, and that's this and this. And you can see this is the SMS box, and on this drawing, it's got the speaker going into this end. On the box, it's got one connection here, and then on the other end has 2 connections, so it's easy to tell one end from the other. Anyhow, in this picture, it's got the speaker going into this end of it. On this drawing, it's got the speaker going into this corner slot up here, not back here. And on this one, this one, it's got the receiver. There's a Y harness coming out of the receiver, and it goes to this pole back here on this setup. Over here on this one, the receiver, the Y line, it's not going to over here. It's going to the back left corner. So you would think if these were the same, then this line here would go over here, not here. See, in this one, this is where the speaker is. Well, on this picture, on that one it's the speaker, and on this one, it's the Y line from the receiver. So things are different, and the way if I hook it up a little differently, then the motor, whenever I plug the battery in, you don't hear the 3 beeps and then the single beep. Therefore, it's not going to run. So the only combination of plugging these things in, and it changes by depending where you put these in. They call it a plug-and-play system, but it's not plug-and-play, because these wires have to be in a certain position. Otherwise, you don't hear the 3 beeps, and therefore the motor's not going to go. Right now it does go, and whenever I give it a little throttle, I can hear the static coming out of here. So I'm reasonably certain that it's working properly like this, even though I still have the bad SMS box installed. Now what I'm going to do is to replace the bad one with this good one that I got this morning. And one by one, I'm just going to move the wires to the same place from this, the bad one, to the good one. And I'll start with the speaker. I'll pull that out and then stick it in over here in the new one. And here is the harness coming from the receiver. I'm pulling it out, and I'm going to put it in the same position on the new one. Okay, both of them are plugged in tightly. And lastly, from the battery, well, I want to unplug that first. Wow. Okay. Thank God it didn't burn up while I had that plugged in. So hopefully everything's going to be all right, because the last time when I plugged the battery into this old one, the big puff of smoke rolled up. Okay, so I'm pulling this last wire. It's the draws a little power from the battery to operate the SMS box. So now, plugging this last cable in. I call it a cable. It's not. It's one of the smallest cables you're ever going to find. If you didn't recognize the plane, it's a AT6 Texan. Got it from our Nitro Planes. Yes, got it from Nitro Planes. Okay, got it all, got the new one all hooked up in line, and now the moment of truth. I'm going to plug the wicked battery in and just pray to God nothing happens. I'm going to be ready to yank it right back out if I hear anything at all. Okay, so far everything's good. I hear a little noise coming out of the speaker. It's like a low static, different from the other. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm going to give it a little throttle. All right! It's going to work! It's working! Hot damn diddly dog! You can obviously see I am excited. Listen to this baby. Listen to this engine sound. I can't believe it. It is so realistic, at least what I've heard so far. Here we go. What I'm going to do is to just gradually, I'm going to start, it's got the starting portion first. Here we go. Give it a little more throttle. Here we go. And as I keep giving it throttle, speaker I think is going to get louder and louder. Here it goes. Oh, it changed sound. Okay, I'm going to power down. On down, on down. Now you're just taxiing down the runway, I guess. That's the sound you're going to hear. All right. Thank God. I have been worrying about that all afternoon, and I've been finding. I'll get down here so you can see me. All afternoon I've been finding little things to do around the house, little projects, blow the leaves out of the garage, things like that, in an attempt to forestall this, because I was really very apprehensive about this working. And I really thought, I thought there was a 50-50 chance that this SMS box would go up and smoke like the other one. But thank God. Now, the reason I did get in touch with Hobby King, and they were pretty good about it. They for the first one that I received, as a matter of fact, came out of that box right over there. They're going to refund me my I think it was $32 or $34.32, which is pretty good of them. I didn't have to spend a lot of time on a chat line, their chat service, and so they are refunding me that. But I did show them those two pictures that I showed you. One of them was blowing off on the floor here. But I did have in a video, I very clearly explained the differences in the two drawings on the very lackluster hookup instructions. I mean, this just does not, if you look at it real close, you can tell exactly, I can see where I went wrong, but you really got to look very, very close. Anyhow, that's it. All I've got to do now is this speaker will, it might be a trick getting it done, but the speaker fits right in this hole in the fuselage, in the wing, in the center fuselage. I call this the center fuselage because the wing really starts here, goes out, and the same over here on this side. But anyhow, there's a hole already formed, and there's little slots at the bottom to allow the sound to go out. And of course, it's I don't know if you can see this or not, but on the bottom side you can see the little slots, and that will direct the sound straight down to the ground. So on flybys, should be able to hear it pretty well, and certainly on the ground before you take off. So anyhow, I'm going to stop this video. I'll tell you that this is a good system, and of course, as you can tell, it gave a good sound. I don't know if I don't know if it's authentic. I don't know if it's authentic to the AT6 Texan, the trainer plane that all the armed services used, but I don't know the difference, so I'm happy. This sound system could go into a P-51 or a P-47 also. Don't know that it really make that much difference. Now to the aircraft aficionado, yeah, they would know a difference, and they would know the sound of a Merlin engine versus something else. So, but anyhow, I'm not that astute at it, so I'm happy, and thank God it works. And the good thing is, if you can get it hooked up properly the first time, you really need to take your time, and be very meticulous about reading it. You certainly, when you hook it, well, let's see, I was going to say when you hook it up, that the engine must, the motor must give the 3 beeps, and if you got it hooked up wrong, at least the small wires going in, that's not going to work right. But that's not going to blow the thing up. What I did was, I had somehow in the drawing, I overlooked that this XT60 connector here, I didn't have this plugged in anywhere, like a fool. If I'd have thought a little deeper, but I was so enthralled with it and everything and wanting to get it installed and hear it. I should have known that obviously you got to have power going to your ESC, and without this being plugged in, of course, what I did have to do was I had to take this banana plug, at least that's what I call it, and this XT60 plug, and I had to solder this up and make this connection, because before, the battery has the banana connection on it, and it plugged right into the banana connector coming directly from the ESC. But when I got this, realized that I had to have this plugged into the ESC. Obviously, this comes with an XT60 plug. My plane has the banana plug, so I had to have something to go between. Now, the other thing is I've got all this extra wire now. The battery, when it's installed in the plane, slides right in here. I don't really know where I'm going to put all this extra wire. I'll find a place, I'm sure. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll be able to go down through the bottom, take the wires down through the bottom of the plane, and come out somewhere in here and wrap them up. You see this piece of wood here? That's only because the ESC was in here and flopping around, and I didn't like that. So I took a small piece of lightweight ply, and I epoxied the ESC to the other side of this, about right in here somewhere, and then I put epoxy on this end of it, and it's a nice big flat space, and then I epoxied this, put a little clamp on it or held it somehow, can't remember, and so now this is solid, and the ESC is not in there flopping around. I don't like things that flop around. The receiver will slide back either on this side of the fuse or up under here on this side. And what I'll do is, once I get it in and get it where I want it, then I'll put a piece of tape, or I'll put a little bit of hot glue out of my glue gun. I'll just put a little hot glue on it, and that'll keep it in place. But anyhow, I am really thrilled that this has worked out the way it is. And believe me, as soon as I shut this video off, I'm heading for the refrigerator, and I'm going to have a celebratory Coors Light. Maybe I'll have 2. Anyhow, that's it, and I'm shutting the video down now. And probably we'll post it on YouTube. And I don't know that I will do it right away, because I do plan on our remote control club that I belong to. I don't know if other clubs do this, but our club does a show and tell every time. People bring in things that are of interest and explains them or whatever to the entire club. And of course, I'm quite proud of this plane. It's got everything on it. It's got proportional retracts, and not proportional flaps. This I paid $50 more, and I got this receiver. It came with it, and of course it's all set up. Like I said, it's got retracts. This is a retract switch over here. This knob, you turn it left or right, and the flaps go proportionally down. If you turn it halfway, that'll go halfway down. Turn it all the way, they go all the way down. Or you can set it anywhere between those points. So like I said, it's got the flaps, it's got ailerons, it's got the retracts, it's got lights. It's got a green light out on the right tip where it should be. Got a red light over on the other tip where it should be, and then it has. I'll go around to this side. It has. Let me get this ladder out of my way. As you can see, it has forward-facing, I guess you would call them landing lights. So pretty neat. See what else? Something else I was going to say about it. Oh, lastly, I got a product as a gift about a year ago, and it's called Sugru, S-U-G-R-U, and it's a product that it comes in a package. There's eight little packs in each order. The 8 packs cost you $22. I know that might sound like it's a little expensive, but here's what I did with it. When this plane came, it had this pilot in the front seat. The back seat was empty. I had a bust. I had the head and just the bust, no arms, just came out of some other plane. I don't even remember which. But I then took that bust, and with this Sugru, I formed arms. I stuck them on. I stuck them on. Actually, held them in place with tape while they cured. This product, it takes 24 hours for it to cure. It is a little flexible, although this is pretty stiff right now, which is fine. Anyhow, I formed the arms, and when they were cured, then of course the arms, when I took the tape off, the arms came loose. So I then epoxied the arms back on. I then used light drywall spackling compound and spread it around, covering all the little creases, holes, etc. And then I sanded it, and then I mixed blue. I mixed 3 colors together to kind of get this olive drab, because I was told that some of the pilots wore the olive drab uniforms. So anyhow, gosh, I wish I could think what I mixed together. The only paints I've got: black. I just don't remember. Anyhow, of course, I formed the arms, and then also formed little hands for him. These are obviously epoxied to the control stick, and then I I mixed up a white and a red, more white than red, and I got a kind of close to a skin tone to paint his hands with. And if you look real close, they even got little fingers formed on him. And also, he didn't have sunglasses on to begin with. And so I made out of this Sugru, I made 2 little flat pieces to represent lens, and then I painted earpieces and a nose piece. His hair it was blonde, and I mixed a black and a white together and come up with this gray material. Then, of course, he's epoxied into the seat. But anyhow, that Sugru, it's now being, as I understand, being sold at Target. It comes from a company in England. That's where the manufacturing of this product takes place. But like I said, it's malleable like Play-Doh, and you can form anything you want. I've made a number of things. For instance, I had a rear window in my car, that 92 Ford, and the power motor has quit working because no one sits back there, so I'm not really going to spend the $200 or $300 to get it fixed. But anyhow, the window kept dropping down a little bit, and I had been using electrical tape to hold it up, and I had to redo it every couple of months. So anyhow, I took some of this Sugru black, took a packet and made it into 5 little pieces, shoved it up into the channel that the window goes into, formed it in there as good as I could so it wouldn't be slopped over on the edge, and then with my hand on either side of the window, shove that window up into this and let it cure for 24 hours. And then that window has stayed up ever since. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And the other thing, I had a broken antenna on my Ford. I went through a car wash and forgot to lower the power antenna, and the guy that was there did not tell me about it. So when I came out and started home, I looked over to the right, and there my antenna was laying back at a 45-degree angle. I tried to straighten it up, created a little hole, weakened it really bad. So anyway, what I did was I used 4 packages of this stuff. I didn't care about the color down at the base. I used a red, a blue, and a yellow, and just shoved it all the way down in this hole. And then I covered it over. I used a black packet, and the packet actually is about that big. Packet's about the size of this, but only, not very deep. It's very light. It's a small amount. Anyhow, like I said, it is a little expensive, but it really does a great job on a multitude of things. You get on that website, sugru.com, and you can see all they've posted, all the uses that people have sent in, all the ways that they've fixed things, and it is quite interesting. So anyhow, I was going to stop this video 5 minutes ago, and I guess I've kind of rambled on. I hope you've found it of interest. And again, this sound system comes from Hobby King. This is what the matter of fact, it even has a picture of an AT. I didn't realize this. It has a picture of an AT6 Texan on it. So who knows? Maybe this is pretty much an authentic sound for the AT6 Texan. I hope so. Anyhow, okay, I'm going to shut this video off now. Hope you've enjoyed it, and you have a good day. And this is John Vinson from Columbus, Indiana, signing off. And the one last thing, I probably won't post this for some time, but because like I said, I'm going to take it in for show and tell, and I want it to be a little bit of a surprise, especially the sound. Whenever I'll have to take the prop off so they don't have any problem inside the restaurant where we in their meeting room. I'll either have to take it off or loosen it up so it doesn't spin. Obviously I'll just have to take it off because I don't want to wear the shaft or anything like that by it spinning and the prop not moving. So anyhow, I want to take it in, and I kind of want it to be a surprise when I talk about the plane. It was only $250, and to get everything that it's got, the retracts, flaps, the running lights, I don't know how you can beat it. And the $250, that included the part of that. I could have got it for $200 and used my own transmitter, but then I would have had to have set everything up on it, and for $50 more, I bought this transmitter, like I said, which was already set up, made for it, designed for it, and my thought was, why go to the trouble of screwing around with your own transmitter when you can just have this one? It's dedicated to the plane, and that's that. Anyhow, okay, that is the end of the video, and I'm shutting it off right now. Goodbye.